Rice paddy, the main food of Malaysia. Today we explore Sekinchan town, the rice plantation town of Malaysia. Sekinchan is a small coastal town about 1.5 hours drive from Kuala Lumpur. Do come early in the day. As we drive, we turn into the Sekinchan town center. It is a small town, and the first place we want to visit early in the morning is the Sekinchan Fresh Market. Here we are turning into the fresh market, and there are sufficient parking. The market has lots of fresh produce and seafood. Also, there are lots of food shops around the place. As we walk inside, you can see this whole area dedicated to local food court. Let us walk through and see some of the stalls. It is already about 10 a.m. so some of these food stalls have sold out. So we walk towards the other corner where there are more permanent shops. Here we come to a shop that is selling wonton noodles, and here is the entrance to the Sekinchan Fresh Market. So as we walk inside, there is a ramp up, and it is an average size market. As we enter, we see fresh vegetables and fruits being sold. Very fresh green items and lots of other fruits and vegetables. As we walk inside, we begin to see the fresh catch of the day. Here are some of the many local freshly caught fish. As we walk inside, the stalls cycle between fruits, vegetables and seafood. There are eels, shellfish, oysters, clams, mussels, and even horseshoe crabs. Here are the local snails, large oysters, mussels. Now, as we walk out of the market, there are a few shops that are actually renting out bicycles or tricycles. We continue to drive and visit the paddy fields. It is near to harvest time now, and as we drive, we find suitable parking spots so that we can stop for a little while and experience the paddy fields. These are of course private lands, but the owners usually are okay if you just go out at the edges and take photos and videos. Paddy fields are golden in color around June and December, and here they are almost ready for harvest. As I walk through the edge of the paddy fields, there is a sense of peace as the winds rustle through the plants. There are many other plantations in Sekinchan. As you drive through, we can see square buildings. These are to cultivate swallow birds' nests, a Chinese delicacy. As we continue to drive, we see mango trees, we see guava trees, and many types of other fruits. Here are corn being planted, and oranges, and eggplant, okra. One interesting place to visit is the Sekinchan Paddy Gallery and Museum. It's a huge area processing rice, and to visit the outer area is free. Here we can learn how paddy is planted. Of course, they have stalls that sell rice-based products, mainly to attract more visitors here. They also have a chargeable guided tour at the last I've checked, 5 ringgits per person. And you get a small pack of Sekinchan rice as a souvenir. This guided tour basically teaches us how paddy is grown and cultivated. The visit starts with a short video presentation about growing rice, the processes, the stages, and of course like how rice is encouraged and harvested. Then we visit the factory on how rice is processed. Along the way as we walk, there are many posters on guiding us how rice is planted and cultivated. Now, there's also a small museum inside which requires the ticket to be purchased. Here you can see some of the traditional rice planting, cultivating and harvesting tools. Of course, nowadays rice is planted and cultivated with modern machinery. Here you see some of the old tools, how rice is removed from the stalks by beating it, some of the traditional tools on milling and dehusking the rice, and some of the old traditional items in the farmer's house. There are a lot of places for photographs, and as we exit the tour, we come to the Paddy Gallery snack shop and souvenir shop. Here we can buy lots of different rice-based snacks. So this is a rice cracker that is produced by the machine. The Paddy Museum exhibition has a real-life paddy field showing the different stages of rice farming, from flooding, planting, transplanting, growing, and basically waiting for the rice to mature and then harvesting. This museum exhibition paddy field shows the different stages of rice farming. It is a very interesting visit. Now, another place that we can visit in Sekinchan is a shop called Mango King. They sell lots of fresh mangoes, also fruits and drinks. Here you can opt for many different snacks, as well as the very recommended mango smoothie made from pure mango and ice for 7 ringgits per cup. Well worth it because it's very high in mangoes. It's perfect on a to cool down on a hot day. The next place to visit is a place called Ama House. Ama is grandmother in Chinese, and here they produce a lot of traditional local snacks. Like this is kueh kapit, basically a sweet rice cracker that is roasted over charcoal. It's got a very crunchy, sweet, delicious taste, and you can see them making this in real time. Of course, this is all for sales. Once they make it, they fold it into square. As we walk inside Amma House, this may bring nostalgic moments for many Malaysians, especially from the Chinese community. These are all many of the traditional items that we find in a traditional Chinese house in Malaysia long time ago. And here we can find lots of traditional snacks that we used to grow up during those times. Then we can go visit the Sekinchan Chinese temple. It is a very majestic temple for the small town. As we enter, the archway is grand and the main hall is very grand. There are dragons decorated on the pillars. And this temple is dedicated to the 9 heavenly emperor gods. On the walls there are beautiful carvings of dragons and etches of paintings and beautiful pictures. Time to head to the seaside. We stop by the Sekinchan Jetty and see the many fishing boats that are parked here. They usually go out early in the morning for a catch, and towards the afternoon when the heat is high, most of the boats may be back docked at the jetty. Here we can also see many of the small wildlife like fiddler crabs and mudskippers. And just be careful not to step into the mud, because some places the mud can get quite deep. We go towards the Sekinchan beach. There are many shops selling food, snacks, drinks, toys, dried seafood items and more. And this is a good place to eat the local food when visiting here. There are plenty of stalls that sells games, toys and kites for children, and this is an interesting place for the family to come to. We walk towards the Sekinchan Redang beach. It is a small sandy beach with relatively nice sand. Quite windy most of the time, and however on the daytime usually the tide goes out, so it gets a bit muddy towards the shore. Very windy, and we can see the beautiful view here. The beach also is the outlet from the river, and this is also where the fishing boats come in. So if the timing is right, you can actually see fishing boats going in and out. Another attraction near the beach is the Sekinchan wishing tree. Visit the temple complex next door to get a wishing coin with the red tassel and throw it up as high as you can up the tree. Make a wish as you fling your coin up the tree. This is a very old tree, and this is a very important attraction in Sekinchan. Around the jetty and beach area, there are many shops selling fresh seafood. This is one of the many. Here you can check out the fresh produce and catch of the day. To get the freshest items, come earlier in the day. Here is another different shop that's selling fresh seafood. This is a very short tour of Sekinchan town. You may want to stay overnight in this peaceful town. Check out some of our other videos for other places. Sekinchan, the Rice Bowl of Malaysia.